Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Great Accent Shift 2013. Just to catch you up, it's now November. I've been doing this is the third installation, so about 2 months, and I've been living in London for about, I guess, 2.5 months at this point. And you might notice that there's a little bit of a difference this time. And that's because we've actually moved house, and we're in a different place now. So, just to give you a little bit of background information in case it wasn't clear before. So, it's kind of interesting because people have put forth a whole bunch of theories about who I am and what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. And I would just like to sort of put a couple of things to rest. So, first thing, sorry, someone actually suggested that I am secretly an actress. Right, and that I'm actually originally from the British Isles somewhere, and that I'm just not as good at doing an American accent, whatever that's supposed to be, as Hugh Lowry or other people who do, shift between their accents as actors. And I just found that really funny. Actually, there's several reasons why I may not sound particularly American, whatever that means to you. One reason might be that I'm living in London at the moment, and that might actually point to me having a bit of an accent shift, the way I'm looking for one here. Another reason might be because I've not lived full-time in the United States for the better part of the last 4 years. So I've lived in a bunch of different countries, and I've found that using a more international English was actually more helpful to me. Changing certain words that I use or changing certain inflections that I have. Now the other thing is, why am I doing this? Who am I? What training do I have? And the best answer I can give is that I'm actually not trained currently in linguistics or phonetics. I'm not an expert by any means, and I'm currently doing a master's in linguistics, but it's my first exposure and it's a conversion degree. Okay, so my background is actually biological anthropology. It has like nothing to do, well, a little bit to do with linguistics and phonetics, but I'm hoping to go into experimental phonetics, and that's how I'm being trained now. So forgive me if I don't use IPA symbols correctly, or if I don't use them at all. I'm still learning IPA. And forgive me if any of my analyses are like really crappy. And keep in mind that I've only been doing this for basically 2 months. So yeah, give me a little bit of slack. So the way that this works, in case you've been here before, is that I read a list of words that are designed to do different things to my accent. And then this time I'm actually going to read a different text, because I think Mr. Tickles is a little bit, like, even though it's good, I think it's a little bit weird. So I'm going to actually read a poem called English is Tough Stuff, which is a poem that I used to use when I was teaching English in South Korea with some of my more advanced students. So, let's begin with the list of words. Here we go. Aunt, route, wash, oil, theater, iron, salmon. Oh, shit. Sorry. Salmon? I sound like my Nana. Salmon or salmon. Sorry. Okay. Caramel, fire, water, sure, data, ruin, crayon, toilet, New Orleans, pecan, both, again, probably, spitting image, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, soup, syrup, helps if you can read, pajamas, cot, pillow, toothpick, aluminium, it's written aluminium like I messed up last time, eggs, February, often, almond, roof, candidate, jewelry, library, clothes, drown, espresso, pasta, miniature, Melbourne, triathlon roll, comfortable, orange, both, tour, sure, Nevada, chocolate drawer, ramen noodles, Caribbean, envelope, coffee, Reese's Pieces, data about morning, stocking, stalking, caught, grocery hour. Now, just as an aside, there's also some other words that I've noticed that I have different inflection or something on than normal. So one of those words is actually about. Strangely enough, I seem to drift toward a Canadian about when I'm here. I think because I'm hearing differences in vowels and somehow just deciding like, okay, I'll just use that. So it's definitely not about the way that some people say stuff from Canada, and it's not the about that people think people from Canada say. It's like somewhere in between, like an about. I don't know. It's almost like an Essex about. Keep in mind that I was actually until last Saturday living in Essex, which is a particular part of the country, and I will link to a YouTube video of a good Essex accent just below so that you can understand what exactly it is. If you're not from England, and what kind of accent might have been actually influencing mine. I noticed the other day when I went out, I said no, which is so very Essex. Somebody came up to me and they were like, hey, do you want to go to a club later? Of course, not in that accent because like I can't actually do a proper Essex accent. And I was like, no. So it's just kind of funny. Right, so hold on, I'm just gonna... Right, so here's the poem itself. It's called English is Tough Stuff. I have not the slightest idea who actually wrote it. Hold on, I'm having problems with my computer. Okay, so English is tough stuff. Dearest creature in creation, study English pronunciation. I will teach you in my verse. Sounds like corpse, core, horse, and worse. I will keep you, Susie, busy, make your head with heat grow dizzy. Tear and eye your dress will tear, so shall I, oh hear my prayer. Just compare heart, beard, and herd. Dies and diet, lord and word. Sword and sward. Retain in Britain. Mind the latter, how it's written. Now I surely will not plague you with such words as plaque and ague, but be careful how you speak. Say break and stake, but bleak and streak. Cloven oven, how and low. Script, receipt, show poem and toe. Just in the interest of full disclosure, I live with my partner who is from the UK originally, and he has something of a very neutral UK accent. And I am currently being trained in how to produce sounds from the perspective of phonetics in addition to how to identify them. And I can't say that I'm an expert yet at all, seeing as I've only just started. But what I do find is that there are certain things that once I learn how to produce them, find their way into how I'm speaking. The other day, I accidentally sounded Scottish for no reason because I had learned how to do a flap R in English, and it just became remember, like some terrible thing. And I'm not saying that all Scottish English accents sound that way. It just sounded slightly Scottish, and it was weird because I've actually never even set foot in Scotland. So, feel free to leave me responses to these videos. Feel free to analyze them however you'd like. And you're probably a lot better at IPA than I am. And if you notice things that are different, please let me know. That's the whole point, right? And continue to make conjectures about where I'm from and who I am and what I'm doing. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you on December 22nd.